Easter Island is an island and special territory of Chile in the southeastern Pacific Ocean, at the southeasternmost point of the Polynesian Triangle in Oceania. The island is most famous for its nearly 1,000 extant monumental statues, called moai, which were created by the early Rapa Nui people. In 1995, UNESCO named Easter Island a World Heritage Site. With much of the island protected within Rapa Nui National Park, experts disagree on when the island's Polynesian inhabitants first reached the island. While many in the research community cited evidence that they arrived around the year 800, a 2007 study found compelling evidence that they arrived closer to 1200. The inhabitants created a thriving and industrious culture, as evidenced by the island's numerous enormous stone moai and other artifacts. But land clearing for cultivation and the introduction of the Polynesian rat led to gradual deforestation. By the time of European arrival in 1722, the island's population was estimated to be 2,000 to 3,000. European diseases, Peruvian slave raiding expeditions in the 1860s, and emigration to other islands such as Tahiti further depleted the population, reducing it to a low of 111 native inhabitants in 1877. Chile annexed Easter Island in 1888. In 1966, the Rapa Nui were granted Chilean citizenship. In 2007 the island gained the constitutional status of «special territory», Spanish, Territorio Especial. Administratively, it belongs to the Valparaiso region, constituting a single commune, Isla de Pascua, of the province of Isla de Pascua. The 2017 Chilean census registered 7,750 people on the island, of whom 3,512, 45%, considered themselves Rapa Nui. Easter Island is one of the world's remotest inhabited islands. The nearest inhabited land, around 50 residents in 2013, is Pitcairn Island. 2,075 kilometers, 1,289 miles away. 9. The nearest town with a population over 500 is Ricatia, on the island of Mangareva, 2,606 kilometers, 1,619 miles away. The nearest continental point lies in central Chile. 3,512 kilometers, 2,182 miles away. The name, Easter Island, was given by the island's first recorded European visitor, the Dutch explorer Jacob Roggeveen, who encountered it on Easter Sunday, 5 April, 1722. While searching for Davis Land, 10, Roggeveen named it Pascha Eiland, 18th-century Dutch for Easter Island, the island's official Spanish name, Isla de Pascua, also means Easter Island. The current Polynesian name of the island, Rapa Nui, Big Rapa, was coined after the slave raids of the early 1860s, and refers to the island's topographic resemblance to the island of Rapa in the base islands of the Austral Islands group. Norwegian ethnographer Thor Heyerdahl argued that Rappa was Easter Island's original name and that the base island's Rappa Iti, was named by refugees from it. The phrase Te Pito o Te Henua has been said to be the island's original name since French ethnologist Alphonse Pinart gave it the Romantic translation, the navel of the world, in his Voyage à l'Île de Pax, published in 1877. William Churchill, 1912, inquired about the phrase and was told that there were 3 Te Pito o Te Henua, these being the 3 capes, land's ends, of the island. The phrase appears to have been used in the same sense as the designation, Land's End, at the tip of Cornwall. He was unable to elicit a Polynesian name for the island and concluded that there may not have been one. According to Barthel, 1974. Oral tradition has it that the island was first named Te Pito o Te Kainga or Haumaka, the little piece of land of Haumaka. But there are 2 words pronounced Pito in Rapa Nui. One meaning end, and one navel, and the phrase can thus also mean the navel of the world. Another name, Mata ki te rangi, means eyes looking to the sky. Islanders are referred to in Spanish as Pascuens. But members of the indigenous community are commonly called Rapa Nui. Felipe González de Rejerdo named it Isla de San Carlos, St. Charles's Island. The patron saint of Charles III of Spain, or Isla de David, probably the phantom island of Davis Land, sometimes translated as Davis's Island, in 1770. Oral tradition states the island was first settled by a 2-canoe expedition originating from Marau Renga, or Marau Tohau, otherwise known as Cook Islands, and led by the chief Hotu Matua and his captain Tuu Ko Iho. The island was first scouted after Haumaka dreamed of such a far-off country. Hotu deemed it a worthwhile place to flee from a neighboring chief, one to whom he had already lost 3 battles. At their time of arrival, the island had one lone settler, Ngā Tavake, a Tirona. After a brief stay at Anakina, the colonists settled in different parts of the island. Hotu's heir, Tuu Ma Heke, was born on the island. Tuu Ko Iho is viewed as the leader who brought the statues and caused them to walk. The Easter Islanders are considered Southeast Polynesians. Similar sacred zones with statuary, Marau and Ahu, in East Polynesia demonstrate homology with most of Eastern Polynesia. At contact, populations were about 3,000 to 4,000. By the 15th century, 2 confederations, Hanau, of social groupings, Mata, existed, based on lineage. The western and northern portion of the island belonged to the Tuu, which included the Royal Miru, with the royal centre at Anakina, though Tahai and Tipur served as earlier capitals. The eastern part of the island belonged to the Otu, Itu. Shortly after the Dutch visit, from 1724 until 1750, the Otu, Itu fought the Tuu for control of the island. This continued until the 1860s. Famine followed the burning of huts and the destruction of fields. Social control vanished as the ordered way of life gave way to lawlessness and predatory bands as the warrior class took over. Homelessness prevailed, with many living underground. After the Spanish visit, from 1770 onward, a period of statue toppling, huri moai, commenced. This was an attempt by competing groups to destroy the socio-spiritual power, or mana, represented by statues, making sure to break them in the fall to ensure they were dead and without power. None were left standing by the time of the arrival of the French missionaries in the 1860s. Between 1862 and 1888, about 94% of the population perished or emigrated. The island was victimized by blackbirding from 1862 to 1863, resulting in the abduction or killing of about 1,500, with 1,408 working as indentured servants in Peru. Only about a dozen eventually returned to Easter Island, but they brought smallpox, which decimated the remaining population of 1,500. Those who perished included the island's Tumu Ivi, Atua. Bearers of the island's culture, history, and genealogy besides the Rongorongo experts. Estimated dates of initial settlement of Easter Island have ranged from 300 to 1200 CE. Though the current best estimate for colonization is in the 12th century CE. Easter Island colonization likely coincided with the arrival of the first settlers in Hawaii. Rectifications in radiocarbon dating have changed almost all of the previously posited early settlement dates in Polynesia. Ongoing archaeological studies provide this late date. Radiocarbon dates for the earliest stratigraphic layers at Anakina, Easter Island, and analysis of previous radiocarbon dates imply that the island was colonized late, about 1200 CE. Significant ecological impacts and major cultural investments in monumental architecture and statuary thus began soon after initial settlement. According to oral tradition, the first settlement was at Anakina. Researchers have noted that the Kalita-Anakina landing point provides the island's best shelter from prevailing swells as well as a sandy beach for canoe landings and launchings. So it is a likely early place of settlement. However, radiocarbon dating concludes that other sites preceded Anakina by many years, especially the Tahai by several centuries. The island was populated by Polynesians who most likely navigated in canoes or catamarans from the Gambier Islands, Mangareva, 2,600 kilometers, 1,600 miles away, or the Marquesas Islands, 3,200 kilometers, 2,000 miles away. According to some theories, such as the Polynesian diaspora theory, there is a possibility that early Polynesian settlers arrived from South America due to their remarkable sea navigation abilities. Theorists have supported this through the agricultural evidence of the sweet potato. The sweet potato was a favored crop in Polynesian society for generations, but it originated in South America, suggesting interaction between these two geographic areas. However, Recent research suggests that sweet potatoes may have spread to Polynesia by long-distance dispersal long before the Polynesians arrived. When James Cook visited the island, one of his crew members, a Polynesian from Bora Bora, Hitahiti, was able to communicate with the Rapa Nui. It has been noted that the early jumping-off points for the early Polynesian colonization of Easter Island are more likely to have been from Manorava, Pitcairn and Henderson, which lie about halfway between the Marquesas and Easter. It has been observed that there is great similarity with the Rapa Nui language and early Manoravan. Similarities between a statue found in Pitcairn and some statues found in Easter Island, the resemblance of tool styles in Easter Island to those in Manorava and Pitcairn, and correspondences of skulls found in Easter Island to two skulls found in Henderson, all suggesting Henderson and Pitcairn Islands to have been early stepping stones from Manorava to Easter Island, which in 1999, a voyage with reconstructed Polynesian boats was able to reach Easter Island from Manorava after merely a 17-and-a-half-day voyage.
Thank you.